Joining me now on the phone is Mr. Lee Vanatta. He's the CEO of Pure Spectrum Incorporated, stock symbols PSPM. Lee, good to talk to you again.
Nice to talk to you, Don. Thanks for having me back.
Now, Lee, it's been a 3 weeks since we last spoke to you. Why don't you tell our audience again what the company does?
Pure Spectrum makes the electronics to make energy-efficient lighting much more consumer-friendly and allows new technologies to help consumers, both business and residential, gain efficiencies.
Now, of course, a lot of people are starting to find out that incandescent light bulbs, the light bulbs we've known since Thomas Edison, are basically being legislated out of existence. You're bringing in the same kind of things that we like about incandescent light bulbs into fluorescent, correct?
That's correct. We bring all of that into compact fluorescent, and we're getting a very good response from the marketplace for that.
Now, I know recently you were in Dubai, and I know that you had a very large meeting this week with respect to your company and shareholders. What's new since we last spoke?
Well, what we've done is we did have a trip to Dubai where we spoke at the Global Investor Forum, and then we had a meeting in Atlanta last week with the Energy Efficiency and Sustainability Forum, and then this morning actually was the annual meeting of shareholders. And I was very pleased to talk to our shareholders and tell them all about the progress that has been made in the last year as far as the new technology, where it's going, what kind of reaction we're getting, as well as let them know that as a result of the meeting in Dubai, that Emirates International Capital Advisory, a very large, very well-respected investment house and advisory firm in Dubai, is taking a large equity position in Pure Spectrum, which gives us the funding we need to take our launch, which was going to be in January within the North American Free Trade Agreement area, to a full global launch in all marketplaces. And Emirates Capital will be introducing us and our products for sale throughout the Middle East in 2009. So it basically takes our market size up by 5 times and gives us the capital to chase all of it. So it was a good meeting, and we feel a very solid announcement today.
Well, Lee, that is just remarkable. Congratulations again, Lee Vanatta, CEO of Pure Spectrum Incorporated. PSPM is their stock symbol. Again, Lee, congratulations. Thanks for the update.
Thank you, Don.
And joining in studio now is Mr. Riggs Eckelberry. He's the CEO of Origin Oil Incorporated, OOIL. Riggs, good to see you again.
As always, Don.
You know, this is kind of a focus on energy program, so it's really ideal that you're here this week. For those who might have missed a few times you've been on the program, tell us again what the company does.
In short, we are a technology company that is cracking the code on algae production. Algae is the most promising biofuel in the world, but it's had some technology problems over the years. We're here to solve them and give this technology to the world.
It would seem that, and we've talked about this before, that algae would be the perfect source for biofuel because generally we're not eating it like corn or wheat, which has really gotten a bad reputation here as of late, causing food prices and cattle feed prices to go up as more and more corn was being converted to biofuel. It must seem like you're in the right place at the right time.
It's the right time because people really want to know, well, is it going to use up good land? Is it going to use up good water? Is it a food crop? And algae is none of those. It's highly productive. And so it's really it's the only candidate today to take the place of petroleum in the world.
Now, you have envisioned, I guess the best way to put it, a series of small algae breweries basically all over the world. Can you kind of run that by us again?
Yes. In fact, just last week I was in San Francisco talking to the California Latino Caucus Foundation Summit about this very issue of how do we get these world-changing technologies out there in time to beat the CO2 problem, to get energy independence. And the key is to share this all over the world simultaneously so that everywhere in every single country, somebody is making algae. Initially in these 40-foot containers that are standardized, scalable, easy to manage, and eventually in things that become breweries, perhaps even as big as the Coors one in Golden, Colorado.
Well, it's interesting because, of course, back, say, in June or July, where gas was right around $5 a gallon here in the United States, obviously it's off nearly 50% since then. But back then, I'm sure people were knocking your door down to get more information. Has that abated somewhat as oil prices have receded backward?
No, the excitement is as great, if not greater. I get an incredible amount of mail myself. And you know, what's amazing is that yesterday the Department of Energy came out with a report saying that because of the credit crunch, because of low oil prices, the oil industry worldwide is disinvesting in infrastructure, and they're drilling, fewer drilling rigs are being built, the refineries are not being built, which means that when the economy comes back, there will be a scarcity. That was what the Department of Energy said yesterday. A week before, at this summit, I said exactly the same thing, which of course you know, makes me very smart. But the fact is that, you know, when you add the credit crunch, all of a sudden big oil can't move as fast. And I think that's an incredible opportunity for us to gear up so that 18 months, 24 months from now, the world is really going to need a lot of algae.
Origin Oil, OOIL is a symbol. We're talking about actually growing oil from algae. Riggs, always a pleasure.
Thank you, sir.